Okay, so we're back with our Chapter 7 video lecture. Before I talk about the adjusted trial balance more and the adjusted entries, I want to go back to page 355 because I skipped some transactions in Chapter 7. I was supposed to pay the sales tax owed to the Arizona Department of Revenue and also the Illinois Department of Revenue. And I did not complete those transactions on page 355. So I'm going to go ahead and do those now. So I'm in my expenses and I'm going to click on new transaction and choose check. Again, this data is on page 355 of your textbook. Come on. So for the payee, it tells us to add two new payees. The first payee that I'm going to add is going to be the Arizona Department of Revenue. So I'll just put the name in, the Arizona Department of Revenue. Spell it correctly. And I'll just save. The payment date is going to be 12/31. Oops, go back to December, 12/31. The check number is 1065. For the category, I'm going to choose the account 207, which is the revenue payable. So you're paying off your liability. The amount paid is $1,781.81. I'm going to click on Save and New to make the second payment. For the next payment, I'm going to add another payee. This time, the Illinois Department of Revenue. We're paying the taxes owed. Illinois Department of Revenue. Come on, computer. And let's spell things correctly, shall we? There we go. So I'll click on Save. Check 1066. Date is 12/31. Under my category, it was another liability account. I don't recall that number by heart, but here it is. It's 208. Illinois Department of Revenue. The amount paid is going to be $50. And now I'll do a save and close. Okay. So now I want to check my check register balance to make sure it equals the amount paid, $355. So I go to my chart of accounts. And my checking balance should equal $53,468.52. Okay. So I'll now go back to the adjusting entries that we recorded on page 356. I'll go to plus new and go to my journal entry. And I'm going to just click on, when it comes up, I'm going to click on the little icon that shows us the most recent journal entry. So right up here, I'm going to click here to show us the most recent journal entries. And I'll choose the first one that we did on 12/31 for that first adjustment. Now, in your textbook, what it says is that in the date column, when it comes up, it says once you type in your date, that you'll have the option to select is adjusting journal entry. That option is no longer available in the QuickBooks Online software. So you do not have the option to click to say is adjusting journal entry. Option is not available in QuickBooks, so you're not going to see that. Okay? So when we do all of the adjustment entries, which we've done those already, and now when we go over to page 361, it's asking for an adjusted trial balance. The new version of QuickBooks Online, so let me cancel out of here. It does not have an adjusted trial balance, just the trial balance. I'm going to click on my reports, go to reports, and I've actually added the trial balance under my management report to make it easier to get to, or you can do find report by name. So I click on the trial balance. Well, I didn't want this. Man, let me just come out of here and go back the old way. Never mind. So again, I'll just click here and go to trial balance. And when the trial balance comes up, again, I want to see the trial balance as of December 31st. And once again, the QuickBooks Online version and 2023 does not give you the option to run an adjusted trial balance, just the regular trial balance. So you can still check your balances. So your balance in the trial balance should be $100,060 as shown on page 361. So I do have the correct balance. Okay, so again, you're not going to do a adjusted trial balance. Now, if you want, you can change the name. So once you run the actual report, I click on Run Report. You can click the little pencil to edit. And if you want, you can call that adjusted trial balance. All right. But once again, you're not going to see an actual adjusted trial balance report in the current QuickBooks Online version. Okay. So let's look at our profit and loss statement from October through December. So again, I'll do my reports. I'll do a profit and loss statement. The time frame for the report will be October 1st to December 31st. And I'll run my report. And you should show a net income. Yeah, October through December. Make sure we got the accrual basis. All right. And my net income is slightly different. And that's because my sales is a little lower than what's in the book. So I will go back and see what's going on with that because my sales should be 31,140. I have 28,640. But according to your textbook, and I'll make the adjustment later, net income should be $7,093.52. Again, my number is different due to my sales being off. And my expenses are also off by look like about $45, $46, $47 actually. So I'll see what's going on I see where it is now in my dues and ship and delivery expense. The book is showing 94. I got $47. So once again, I'll make those adjustments to figure out what's going on with that. Okay? So now they give you some demographics on page 365. So if you go to your dashboard and business overview, again, it's going to show you. So I got the same profit and loss statement. That's interesting. And I have the correct expenses. My sales are the same. But for some reason on my report it was different. Maybe I didn't hit the run report button. I don't know. But I have all the same totals here. Yeah, I got my sales, 31,140. I have the net profit, $7,094 for this year. Um, so that's interesting that it wasn't showing me the information. So what I'm wondering here is that because this is for this year, they told me to run it October through December. Perhaps they meant for the year because it's the same figure. No, it's not. Yes, it's the same figure. But anyway, I think that was just a typo in the book. But I do have all the same figures that's shown on page 365 in the textbook. Let's go ahead and do a balance sheet just to make sure. So click on my reports total and run a balance sheet. That's not how you spell balance. Balance sheet. There we go. And of course, your balance sheet is always for a specific date. So we're going to run a balance sheet and we'll just say December 31st. And when you run the report, it'll say as of December 31st. And now we see on the balance sheet, total assets 75,213.52. So my balance sheet totals do equal what's shown on the balance sheet. So I'm okay with that. They're doing a statement of cash flows. My cash balance is the same, so I'm okay with that as well. And we're now going to get to the process of closing out the fiscal year. All right. So now we're on page 370. 370. So we're going to learn how to close out the current year to get prepared for the next year. So notice that your balance sheet is showing retained earnings. It does show the correct net income amount. What's going to happen is that once we close out the current year, we're going to run a balance sheet as of 1/1 of 2024. I do not want to rush how to close out the year. So we're going to come back with one last video. It'll be a very brief one showing how to close out the current accounting period and get prepared for the upcoming accounting period. Okay? Stay tuned.